There we go. Oh man, I really wanted that moon. Who names a mountain Mountain? Mr. Mountain? Or Mrs. Mountain? Or Miss Mountain? Anybody, any mountain, really. Dr. Mountain. Clearly Dr. Mountain does it. Oh. I think I understand what I'm doing wrong so far. Not quite as charming as the Furret level, but it's really hard to beat. For Human Aesthetics. Anyway, re-BLDC judging. That was one of the things I was considering, but I wasn't quite in the mood for it today. I think we'll be doing more of that tomorrow. That being the normal Thursday-ish, late-ish time that I usually start. I'm assuming I'm not done, which seems very likely given I'm only 33 in. I'll probably pick it up again on Saturday, is my plan currently. I will not be able to do like any streams Saturday or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday because I will be traveling for work. I have to go to LA for a little bit. But which would be fun. I haven't been there in a while. Go see some peeps from that office. Some peeps from the office up here too. Who I haven't seen in a while. That's just a re-grab. It's all I have to do. Then shell jump. Need to think that one through a little bit more. But that's the plan. After which will be the mystery hunt, which will be fun. I'll probably still do my Thursday stream despite that, because I'm not going out east. I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. I'm like, no, I'm tired. I'm not going out east. I thought about it. I'm like, man, I've spent like in the last 2 months and a whole month away from home. That's enough. You know, sometimes that's just enough. But I probably should actually go out to the East Coast again in the near future, because my sister successfully had a baby the other day. Go see that. It'd be kind of fun. Go talk to the guy who's in charge of catch rooms and see about getting some more catch rooms. That kind of thing. I'm literally trying to think of anything else on that list. But yeah, once that's done, and I might even try to pick that up earlier. Start getting the Zelda stuff done. I just need to sit down and focus on that. I'm really good at doing that. But, yeah, that's basically the plan. Oh, I just need one better regrab there. Definitely don't want to drag my feet on BLDC, given the other judges finished super fast. Of course, props to them for finishing so fast. No one expects that. Oh, thank you for the follow. Just talking about BLDC, the thing I should be doing, but I'm not. Bounce. Fish indeed. Gotta throw it on the way up. There's no other way. I don't think I've ever actually... No, I have done one of those once, I think. Oh, that's how you do it. Not like that, though. Oh, hello. Tutu... Bimg? Hope you don't mind if I just call you Tutu, because I'm not going to necessarily be able to pronounce the rest of that. How you doing? Thank you for the follow. and whatnot. Currently just working on some Kaizo things, because I don't really Kaizo as much as I should. It's kind of evident, isn't it? The fun thing about these, you can look up your time and just find out just how much better the other players are. But... And in fact, some of these older ones I actually did participate in. It was kind of fun. Maybe that's something to do if I have time on Saturday and feeling it. And the level's really easy. Do some Romhack racing, because I haven't done that in like a year. Done a decent amount of non-Romhack racing, but haven't done any actual Romhack racing in a while. Oink. One sec. It does remind me with this new setup I need to retime the background stuff. I haven't gotten around to that. There we go. Or retime the death pin stuff. Occurs to me that's what the problem is. We're not different Mario. There should be a different Mario. That reminds me, in terms of useful pieces of code that I recovered, I've got the, was it block, or sprite normalizer. I really need to pick that up and turn it back into a 32 by 32 sprite converter. And see if I can pick up fish as a sprite to use. Because I know Donut and Seg submitted that to SMW Central, but didn't actually finish it because the graphics moderator thought it could be okay as a graphics 32 instead of a 32 by 32 graphics. Which is a bit of a shame, really. Though I don't blame anybody for wanting to work in graphics 32 by 32 graphics instead of graphics 32. As confusing as that sounds. You don't have to deal with the fact that it's all cut up and put back together by the console. You can just draw directly into the space provided, space allotted. Some hacks actually use it for fun characters like Morton and Morton's Empire, or Thick Peach and Peach's Adventure. Everyone likes Thick Peach. That was a fun hack. A lot of character in that one. I have lost all frame of reference of how to do this. I don't know, am I still feeling this level? Maybe I don't like this level that much. To be fair, the bigger problem is that I cannot get past like these obstacles consistently, and I think it's actually not that hard. There's a rhythm to the re-grab. That I'm just not really picking up. Maybe a little bit after that. See, I did one too many times there. It's an odd feeling. I don't know. I don't have a feel for the grab a shell as I'm ascending and drop it and kick it to the shell jump. Probably should have a feel for this by this point. But I don't think it was actually in any of the Kaizos I've played, except Backwards Mario World, and that was so long ago. So very long ago. Close. This was supposed to be a 3. Keep looking to see anything's happening, but no. Just the log file continuing to append all of the death messages. There's a lot of them. No. Try that again. My first attempt was not good. Let's see what else. I finished watching Taskmaster Season 11 again. Thought I didn't care much for the later seasons, but post-Rod. But some of them have grown on me. Didn't realize I'd actually like Jo. But her entire attitude of, I'm too old to be here, was actually quite enjoyable. But she just didn't give a fuck. Which was good to pair with Dave, because Dave didn't know what he was doing half the time. Did learn a few interesting things about how they actually run the show. It turns out that they drop tasks in certain seasons and might bring them back in later ones if the contestants don't do anything interesting enough. Just looked outside and it's downpouring. Time to see if all the snow on the ground turned into gross slush. But with any luck, it'll turn into ground. Or a complete lack of snow. Because that's the best thing about rain in winter, when it snowed, is it can get rid of all that stuff that nobody actually wants on the ground. Now I'm re-grabbing Too Good. Kick. Then there's freezing rain. It depends upon whether or not it's still cold enough to have the rain freeze, though. There's a great number of times where you have snow stuck on the ground still. But it won't freeze. There's rain. I think I've finally learned how to do that trick. In time to try to figure out what I'm doing here. Freezing rain here before Christmas, it was wild, never seen that before. It's scary stuff. That was one of the few things that would get people in Michigan to stay the fuck home, was freezing rain. And unlike, in Seattle, people in Michigan knew how to drive in snow and wintry conditions. Slipped on your first stair on the way out the front door. I presume that after you did that, you decided to not go out your front door. And instead stay the fuck home. Gave up on walking to the mailbox because the road was ice. There we go. No, you went out to the road. I'm glad you didn't drive anywhere, at least. Oh, God. Ow. Scratched my nose when I was trying to do that quick. It's unpleasant. Won't drive in snow. You're not driving in freezing rain. Smart. Actually slipped on your ass on sidewalk a few nights ago because it was so unbelievably slippery. Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. If it's winter, do as the Alabamians and stay indoors when there's annoying precipitation. Like, when I was in Alabama, if there was any pray tell of snow, any possible chance, they would just stay home. Everyone would stay home, school would be canceled or let out early. It's just better that way. I get why in the Midwest you can't do that kind of thing, and in large parts of Canada, but in Seattle they totally can. Then everyone can go to the store and buy all the bananas. Which I presume must be is it just a Seattle thing? Because, like, in the event that there's a forecast of snow stuff, they always sell out of bananas. I'm not sure why that instead of, I don't know, bags of rice, beans. Bananas. Always bananas. Bread? No. Bananas? Yes. Bananas provide good traction. I believe it's the opposite. Was reading this comic book, a travelogue comic by this French-Canadian guy. And he was talking about his time he spent in Shenzhen, in China. And he actually saw a person slip on a banana peel. At least I think that was the one he saw that in. It might have been the one when he was in Myanmar. Either way, for a cartoonist to see that kind of thing, he was quite amused. They slip against each other and stay put. Two slippery things cancel each other out? No. It might just be a Seattle thing, then. Because it seems to happen every time. I get the feeling that I do not want to press left or right. I think I just need to release it at the right time, and I have no notion of what time it is. Aside from it being 3 o'clock at night. The problem is they can't restock the bananas? Maybe. But this happens before the snow. Which would seem to indicate that there's a run at bananas, on bananas. Like, what would stop them from restocking bananas before there's snow? Before the snow is the most dangerous time to be driving? I don't know about that. I'd say, you know, after the snow, if there's black ice and stuff, that's a more dangerous time to be driving. Remember the last time I drove in snow? That was fun. I was very determined to get home. Around last New Year's. So I ended up driving all the way from around Eureka, California, to Seattle, and it just got worse the further I got north. Portland was soaked in snow. It was pretty sketchy until I got to Tacoma. Once I got to Tacoma, things chilled out a lot. But, yeah, that trip between middle of Oregon all the way to Tacoma was definitely white-knuckle driving. 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock the whole way. Would not recommend. Oh. Did actually drive my car the other day. It's nice to know the battery still works. Be surprised how frequently this is a problem for me, given I don't drive my car for months on end. Don't just let it go immediately. You've got to hold it. You got to Oh, what am I doing? Stop and think for a second, Pat. Stop and think for a second. When I'm doing that jump, what am I doing with the B button? I think I might be briefly letting go of B while I'm letting go of that, which could explain the loss of velocity. Because I think I want to do a regrab for the first bullet. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I need to make sure I don't let go of B. And I'm doing that because of how I'm jumping. You do the Y regrab, which is a little bit of a motion. I don't do that often. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, QLDC's coming up soon. Maybe I'll move the QLDC ad to the newer thread when it gets posted. I guess also I'm willing to test QLDC entries when people do them. When people get around to more closely finishing it. Since, you know, it literally is starting today, I think. Or wait, which day is it? I am not a QLDC judge. No. Tomorrow. Starting tomorrow. BLDC too close for that kind of thing. I was a QLDC judge last time. But no, I think it's public knowledge who the judges are. I think it's like Shovda, Author Blues, and someone else. I don't know. Yeah, I'm one of the... There's a lot of folks not judging. But yeah, I've got my own judging to handle. I don't need to do QLDC judging, so I'm happy to do testing for people if they want some testing. Author, Shove, Amethyst, yeah. I think there's a fourth one, but I don't recall whom. I wasn't sure about Amethyst, but that does make sense, though. Twal? I don't think third wall be judging, unless that's a different Twal. If there's a fourth judge, I don't know who they are. It's one of those things where I could go and look this up and find out who, probably. With my amazing mod powers, but eh. Kaz? Maybe Kaz, I could see that. Do an experiment. Make a level while drunk and see what comes out of that night. You know, it works for some people. My understanding is MD Battlefrog made most of their stuff while drunk. So... At the same time, you'd probably regret it? Probably. Every once in a while, drunken creativity can win, but it doesn't happen very often. I think the most creative thing I ever did... Well, one of the creative things I did... Yep. Please. No! Was I managed to beat one of the last levels of his electronics game while pretty dang drunk, which required writing both a graph search algorithm and a sorting algorithm in the assembly language of Exapunks. I'm still kind of shocked it worked as well as it did, and especially shocked that I got annoyed at the fact that my bubble sort was too slow and switched to insertion or selection, I forget. I find them to be very similar sorts. Though I did write selection sort recently. Yeah, I guess I did write a selection sort recently. You'd say, Pat, why don't you just use the standard library? And the answer is because I'm more interested in the swaps than the actual sorting. Was for sorting YouTube playlists. In order to sort YouTube playlists correctly, I needed to sort them locally to find which ones I needed to swap before doing the swaps, to minimize the number of swaps, which is why we're using selection sort instead of another fancier sort. So... Code that I was happy to not lose in the great laptop crash. That. Yeah, that's actually trivial to do once you know what you're doing. Yoshi! Okay. I think I'm reading this right. I bop him. I didn't read that right. Maybe I should get the shell in Yoshi's mouth first. There we go. Yeah, I learned the secret. It's not that hard. Just let go of Y. Anyway, still looking forward to QLDC. Should be fun stuff come out of that. Get some interesting levels. Though I admit I will probably not put much time and effort into helping people test, if they want help testing, until after I finish PLDC playing, at least. So... I'm kind of curious to know how some of the other fan judges have come along in finishing that endeavor. If they're done already. Because I've definitely had some distractions, time-wise. That makes me wonder what the mean time for finishing judging is on SMW Central on an individual level as opposed to collective. because frequently it takes a while, right? When you end up with so many entries. 52 is not bad in terms of numbers, but bigger contests like VLDC or KLDC bring out a lot more people. So those tend to be bigger and take a lot longer, especially KLDC, because you need to be able to actually clear the levels. And there's no guarantee you'll be able to do any of them in one sitting. Like, I'm pretty sure Louis had a decent timestamps in his stuff, so you could actually see how long some of them took. And I think, honestly, the longest one for him was like a 12-hour thumb shredder style level. Because those are evil. Just honestly evil. But beat it he did. Sans save states. It's what it takes. Well, I forgot what I was doing. Completely spaced on what I was doing there. Alright. Beverage break. Probably shouldn't finish that now I think about it. Excuse me. Alright. Briefly thought those might have been Luigi pins. Figured since I wasn't making too much progress, I could check something really quick. But it wasn't important. Something I am excited about, I guess, because I have this new computer, right? Oh, I am Luigi. I got a new computer, and because it's different, it handles USB slightly differently. And I ran into this problem when I was trying to get my code to work on my work machine, is that the identifier I was using to find the SD to SNES wasn't working properly. Which makes me think that it might work with the EverDrive now, instead of having to do the god-awful thing I was doing before, where I was porting most of the messages to Windows, which was also having problems. So I'm going to be curious to see how that works. Which probably means I'll just turn on Zelda 2 and run it for like half an hour to see if it results in corruption anymore. Because I think it should just work. And the default just started her up one does nothing until I press enter a couple times. It just waits for messages, and if it doesn't get any messages, it doesn't do anything. Oh, I could have made that. But if it does, but if I do press enter, it runs a stress test. Trying to write repeatedly to different things. Ah. It's an interesting bit of code. And yeah, if it was some sort of like USB difference between my desktop and whatever, I'd be very curious. I don't remember if I tried different... I did try different firmware revisions, but it didn't really make a difference if I recall correctly. But I might have been testing the wrong thing at that point. That might have been when I was trying to do my writes through CHR, which was a really bad idea. The interesting thing about Zelda 1, unlike Zelda 2, is Zelda 1 uses CHR RAM. So instead of just having all these graphic pages lying around in the CHR ROM, you have to push them through the PPU, into the CHR RAM on the cart. Which is not at all how I imagined that process was going to work when I first started reading about it. I imagined there would be a mapping place where you could write to this during VBlank or when the PPU was off, but nope. You have to do it through the PPU. Slowly, because you don't have DMA. Except for OAM. OAM has DMA. Which makes sense given that updating sprite positions matters a whole lot more than updating anything else on the PPU. Anyway, the more you know. Feels if I don't make any real progress on this in a bit. Too slow. Ooh, that was an unpleasant noise. MC5 has a small amount of dual-ported RAM. In some modes, the CPU can only write to it during rendering, and not during VBlank. I mean, that sounds like an awesome feature, having dual-port RAM. Maybe I'll see about converting Zelda 2 into... No. Or, I guess I could see if there's already been a conversion for Zelda 1 to MMC5. But yeah, that's how I imagined that CHR RAM would work. Is you'd have the dual-ported stuff. But this makes sense, too. Has to be during rendering, otherwise it's not sure which PPU accesses are happening, and it can sneak CPU writes. And interesting. That's weird. That's really weird. Pleasant background, though. Yeah, just let go of Y there. The whole thing becomes trivial. I hugged the pipe. Yeah, like that. That's... Yeah, I got lucky there, I won't deny. Okay. Got this in my mouth now. Oh. Almost. It almost worked. Okay. I have a plan now. I know what to do. I don't understand how all the pieces work. I just had to put it together. Anything else like really cool I've seen recently? Found some like puzzle script games I've been trying to play, like little one-screen ones, and I found one that's really cool, and I'm so baffled what to do with the current step I'm on. Has to do with connecting electrical stuff. It's a Sudoku-like thing, because all puzzle script games are at their heart Sudoku. Just fancy Sudoku. Sokoban. All of these games are fancy Sokoban. But yeah, and I figured out the like really cool gimmick part. I understand how I'm going to proceed after this to some extent, but I'm presently baffled as to what I'm supposed to do with the items I have at this point in the game to achieve my ends. Not good at jump gates. almost did the wrong thing there. Hooray for H. I guess the H is for hooray. Oh, I see what they want me to do there. Somehow feel like whenever I see one of these in a Kaizo context, you always have to wait the first cycle and don't have a choice. Alright, progress. I know a bunch of bullet bills are gonna punch me in my giant nose. There be Kaizo blocks. Like in Quickie World 2. This is like one of the very first things, not one of the first things, but this is one of the problems in the Yoshi level. Oh, I did the right thing on accident. Shouldn't have doubled back. Should have gotten ready for that. Alright, gotta do the right thing on accident again. Maybe? I'm not really sure how it's supposed to work now I think about it. Gotta jump earlier. Have to say, I do appreciate the retry patch not interrupting the music. It's probably one of my favorite features of the retry patch. If I just go immediately, that just works. I don't need to think if I just go. As is frequently the case with a lot of Kaizo games, if you just go, it kind of works. See? Just go, it works. Nope, not yet. Time for another Yoshi? It's time for another Yoshi. Alright, what's ahead? No idea. Ah. I see a problem with my brilliant plan there. That feels really fun when you get it right. It shouldn't. It's trivial, but it does feel fun when you get it right. Anyway, the whole point of that endeavor is to say puzzle script is really cool. It's definitely what I would use if I wanted to prototype some sort of block pushing and related games. Okay, did the right thing on accident. Okay, I have to figure out how to dismount the Yoshi without releasing the fireball, because don't think I've ever done that. I've gotten this part down. Like, I understand what to do. Like, everything I have to do here is stuff I understand up to a point. Yeah, I think I need to hold with A. With X? Oh god, how am I going to do this? It's like... I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of like the mechanics involved here. Like, how do you dismount a Yoshi without breathing fire? Maybe the answer is you don't. Maybe I'm overthinking this and I just need to fire the fireballs above the spiny line. Let's try that. Nope. We're getting there, I think. Yeah, I'll be curious to see what happens with the Mr. F this year. It's definitely experimental. Because of the weird restrictions that have been put upon it. Not gonna get got by that muncher. Okay. I think I just need to do an immediate dismount there. Actually, if there's anyone out there who knows, is it possible to dismount the Yoshi without spitting out this tongue? I don't think I've ever done it that way. It's one of those use cases I've never had to deal with. Never been important to me before this point. It feels like the kind of thing you could do, I'm just not certain how mechanically I would do it. I'll wait for the next one. It's like catching a bus, you see. I waited too long. Every 5 seconds, a Yoshi gets its wings. Just in terms of reading stuff, I'm still trying to get my way through the Master and Margarita. It's been a start and stop affair, I tell you. In part because every once in a while it rapidly changes perspective. And it's always hard to remember what was happening with the specific character last time, because I've taken so long to get back to it. And we're currently dealing with Pontius Pilate again. He's discussing, with full knowingness, the assassination of Judas Iscariot. Since he already knows the end result, he knows that the investigation into whether or not he is dead is very much settled. Since he basically ordered a hit on the guy. So I'll be curious to see how that part ends, but other than that, it's just gotten kind of weird. There we go, we got a shot this time. No, it definitely wants me to wait for that to spit out the Yoshi, the fireball. I don't know how to do that. Like, I don't know how to dismount a Yoshi without tonguing. Because of how I kind of rake my fingers across to do it. It feels like something important to know, I just haven't done it before. Something I would take advice on if offered, I believe. In the meantime, I've also gotten a new book from my sister for Yuga Booga Flood. A Brandon Sanderson book she thinks that I'll enjoy, which seems more likely than the last one I read. Did not care for Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians. But funny enough, she did end up giving that book to one of my nephews. I suspect he'll have a good time with it, though. There are certain times when being exposed to certain ideas works very well, and I suspect the literary snark that is in that book will be something he'll greatly appreciate. Though whether or not he'll appreciate the... There's a really good bit near the end where the guy drops off the, chosen child back with his adoptive parents, but comes back 30 minutes later. It's like, hey, wait a second, I expected it to be here all summer. It's like, no, that's stupid. Why would anyone leave you where, all the evil people know where you are? I greatly appreciated that bit of snark. Oh, I should have played more with the Yoshi. Okay, I think I got it. It felt good. That felt terrible. Okay, I figured out how to move my thumb the way I'm supposed to for that. You just kind of have to glance onto A without hitting X, which is something I just never do with Yoshi. Whenever I jump off a Yoshi, I always end up putting the tongue out. It's just how I do. Am I early? Am I late? Nope, I'm fine. There we go. It's so close to being right. Look up, look down. Here's Mr. Frying Pan. Okay. Progress. No. I'm gonna die on the bottom one. Just feels better that way. Boing, boing, boing. All right. Oh, you... Troll's gonna troll. I think it was Shoved or someone who asked, like, what was on Twitter at some point, like, what's something you're just kind of tired of seeing in hacks? And I'm like, end of level trolls. Definitely end of level trolls. But I think that as a trend has kind of dropped off, and people have definitely gotten more creative with theirs, if they're going to have them. Like, I know Fish Out of Nowhere was funny for a long time, and it's very much a truck punchline, but it's nice that we've kind of weaned ourselves off of that as a concept. There we go. Gotta drop the Yoshi sooner. That reminds me, when I was trying to figure out how to make the lambda thing look right for dark theme users, I realized my initial plan of adding a drop shadow wouldn't work because you wouldn't be able to see the whole thing. I need to come up with a more clever solution. Because the drop shadow would not show you a whole lambda, just show you a fraction of a lambda. I thought about making it grayish, but that was also kind of unappealing. Just could make it like a fun color, like purple. People like things that are purple, right? Maybe green. I don't know. Graphic design is not my forte for obvious reasons. Okay. That looks good. Okay. And that looks great. 15! That's all you need. That took longer than I expected. Second half was a lot easier, though. I think I like the second half a lot more. That took about an hour. Still under the 2 hours that you usually expect for Romhack races. It could have been a lot worse. Playtesters, Atari, Algae, Nate F, Sequel Infection. Why not? And Osu Mario Cartman. I do love a good name that flows together like Mario Cartman. Alright.